I'm live and the camera's on. Hey, what's going on? I'm Kelly Wilson. This is Real Talk. Let's do this. I'm live. We're using StreamYard. We're repurposing everywhere I can. And when I say we, I mean me. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I will rebroadcast this on Anchor, where I put my podcast, Real Talk, YouTube, Instagram, IGTV, all the things. If I find another spot, I'll put it there. I'm sending it to my mom. That's what my grandma gets for Christmas. Like, yeah, that's what we do. Hey, if you're live on this puppy, say hi. And, type in live. Or, type in if you dropped your children off at school this morning, both of them, and they are outside, and you are outside of your home, not outside of the door, maybe. And you don't even know what to do with yourself. Actually, I do. I'm going to go live. That's what's happening. This is what I'm doing with myself. I'm so excited. But anyway, say hi. If you're on the replay, type in replay, say hi also, and let me know if you got rid of your children also. And I would just like to say, disclaimer, I love them, but I'm also excited that they're gone at school to learn with people who can actually teach them better than I can. All right. So I'm Kelly Wilson. This here is Real Talk. This is my podcast. Talk about voiceover, working with voice actors, hiring them, the stories inside and outside the booth. Speaking of that, I'm actually outside of my booth now. I love my booth. Anyways, focus, Kelly. Hey, if you got questions for me, you'd like for me to cover on this podcast, you can either email me, kelly@kellywilsonvo.com, right there, or, throw a question in the comments or something. I can cover it either now, or at a later date. But there you go. Okay, question for you. Have you ever heard this? And maybe this is more of a question for voice actors, but I think this could pertain to like any creative, or really anyone who just doesn't understand what you do, like even a doctor. Maybe not this exact question, but anyways, have you ever heard this question? But all you do is read. And I guess that's not really a question, that's a statement. But have you ever heard that as a voice actor? Well, over the weekend, over the holiday weekend, I was talking to some family members. Oh, family, right? And we were talking about voiceover. We were hanging out. They were asking me about the projects I do, the stuff I work on. And inevitably, they ask about money. They're like, all right, how much you get paid, Kelly? Maybe they didn't ask it quite like that, but that's how I heard it in my brain. And, I gave them a range depending on what I'm doing. And they almost dropped their hot dog and beer. All right. I caught their beer. We're not wasting. And they were just like, but all you do is read. How can you get paid that much for 1 hour of work, Kelly? And I was talking to my family, right? So I was just like, yep, that's what I get paid, the end. Because maybe I'm the weirdo and my family is just my family, but family just don't understand sometimes. They just don't get it. And I think a lot of creatives or freelancers, family usually just doesn't get it. And that's cool. That's okay. I don't get other people's jobs or things. So really, I didn't explain. I was just like, yep, that's what I do. That's how it works. Magic. But in my head, I was like, that's not exactly the full picture or the truth. But it did give me an idea for this podcast. So, hey, I'm good with that. So I'm excited. So I didn't want to go into it with my family because it's family, but really, like, say I'm doing a directed session, that hour that I'm getting paid and working, I'm not really getting paid for that hour. I'm getting paid for all the other stuff, years and years and years of stuff that I've done beforehand to get me to this exact moment, to do this hour-long directed session and send the invoice and get that particular rate. So I didn't want to go into that with family. You probably get it, right? And this is from, I'm talking coaching, auditioning, practicing, reading out loud in class, in elementary school, reading to my kids, timing myself to squish and stretch to make sure I get, like, okay, this is like 30-second script, but it's got to be read in 15, but it's got to sound good. it can't sound rushed, not too rushed. So, being able to do that and being able to practice that. I mean, singing classes, just being able to like breathe right, even karate. I've taken karate and just being able to focus and breathe with your body. That was practice. And all the other gajillion experiences. And really, they never stop. So that's what I wanted to say to my family member, but I didn't. Probably best I didn't. So getting to this moment, to this rate, took a lot of time, sweat, tears. There was crying. There was hard work. There was sleepless nights. There was lots of maybe that same family member saying, "You're crazy. What are you doing? Just stop. What's wrong with you?" And as I mentioned, when it comes to family, sometimes they just don't get it, and it's cool. It's okay. So if you ever hear, but all you do is read, you get paid that much for 1 hour of work. If it's your family, you should probably just say, yep, moving on. If they actually want to hear more, okay, cool. If it's a client, maybe they just need to know more about you. Maybe they need to hear you. Maybe they need to understand what kind of studio you work with. And that could pertain to any type of creative. Speaking of working with me, hey, I'm Kelly Wilson. I'm a voice actor, and you can check out my demos, learn more about my padded booth behind me, my story, the stuff I use inside the studio, all the things, kellywilsonvo.com. Hey, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for checking out Real Talk. If you hire voice actors, dude, you already saw the website. And speaking of voice actors, if you need more than just me on your roster, which I think is a good call, you can subscribe right now, kellywilsonvo.com/subscribe, and get my freebie, 5 fantastic voice actors to add to your roster. And I'll keep you updated on what's happening with the podcast, studio book out dates, which, can you believe it? October will be here soon. Monday, October 11th. I'm not going to be available. So there you go. There's one. Hey, if you got a question for me, you want me to cover it here on the podcast, throw it in the comments, or send me an email, kelly@kellywilsonvo.com, and I'd love to cover it here on the podcast at a later date. If you're listening on the replay or on YouTube or anywhere that you can like show some love, subscribe, stars, positive reviews, they really do help me out, and I will repurpose this on my weekly podcast at anchor.fm/kellywilsonvo. All right, man. Have a great week. For those of you who took yesterday off for the holiday weekend, it's Monday, but it's actually Tuesday. Yeah, either way, it's weird, but have a great day. Later.